Hello again, everyone. I'm Dennis McCarthy with Olean General Hospital, welcoming you to another edition of Inside Olean General Hospital, our news and information program. With us today is Amanda Farrell, and Amanda Farrell is from Unyts, the new blood supplier for Olean General Hospital. And you are the Director of Recruitment for Unyts, and we're here today to talk about blood donation and the importance of blood donation in our area. Amanda, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome. Now, Unyts is the brand new for Olean, our new blood supplier, and for Bradford Regional Medical Center. But tell us a little bit about Unyts, because Unyts is not new to Western New York, but maybe a little new to our area here in Olean.
Unyts is Western New York's only organ, eye, tissue, and community blood donation center. So in addition to coordinating all of the organ and tissue donation process, we also are a community blood bank, meaning that all of the blood that we collect stays right here in Western New York and goes to our partner hospitals. And we are so excited to be adding on Olean General and Bradford Regional as our newest partners in community blood banking.
That's great. Now, Unyts has been around for a long time. I see 2007, Unyts began to collect blood in the area?
Correct. As an organization, we have been in existence since 1981, but we did start collecting blood in 2007.
And has grown since then, right?
We have. So Unyts is the primary supplier of blood and blood products for ECMC, Kaleida Health, Eastern Niagara Hospital, Niagara Falls Memorial Medical Center, Wyoming County Community Hospital, Brooks and TLC Health Network, and now Bradford Regional and Olean General.
So you've been around for a long time and well known in the community for both blood products, and we'll talk a little bit later about organ donation. But let's stop a little bit and talk about the importance of donating blood and the hospital's need for it.
Yeah, so I think the most important thing is there is no substitute for human blood. There's nothing synthetic, nothing that can be manufactured to replace blood. So we rely on generous volunteer blood donors and host groups to provide the blood needed to treat patients in this area. Statistics are that about 1 in 3 people entering a hospital will need blood at some point in time in their lives. So it's a huge responsibility that we have, and we really rely on the community to partner with us to help to provide the blood that's needed.
Yeah, we know as hospitals, the patients that we treat do need blood, as you said, and it's essential. We can't have surgery without having blood products. There are other things other than just whole blood in terms of what happens when somebody donates, correct?
Exactly. So it takes less than an hour of time to save up to 3 lives, is what we say. So 1 unit of whole blood that's donated, when it's brought back to our lab right in downtown Buffalo, we can then manufacture it into up to 3 life-saving components to treat patients. So red blood cells, plasma, as well as platelets, and a product called cryoprecipitate, which also helps the clotting process, can be made from just 1 volunteer blood donor.
It's an amazing statistic, but I noticed in some of the research that over 40,000 units of blood are needed each day in this country to take care of patients.
Yeah, and in this region alone, Unyts supplies over 35,000 blood products to our local hospitals. So when you break that down by hospital or by day, it's really staggering. Blood is used within 42 days of donation. Platelets have to be used within 5 days of donation, so the need is constant.
You know, it's interesting because Unyts is now the major blood supplier for Kaleida, its affiliates, and many more hospitals. And I think what you said earlier is very important, that the blood that you collect here stays in the region. So people can count on the blood that they're donating to be of use to their neighbors.
You know, I think that is really key. Western New York is a really unique community. We like to take care of our own, and it means a lot when you can say to someone that your donation that you're giving of yourself is staying here and helping someone in your community. Everyone's connected by 1 degree of separation, right? So it could be a family member, a friend, a neighbor who's on the other end of receiving that life-saving donation.
That's so important. And as you said, it's easy, right? It's not complicated. It doesn't take hours.
No.
How do you go about, if you want to donate blood, how do you go about doing that?
So the first thing is folks can go to our website and you can search by zip code to find the nearest location near you. I'm very excited that starting in February we'll be here at the hospital on a regular basis, giving folks in the Olean area an opportunity to donate. And again, it takes less than an hour of a time. You have to be in good health. present with photo ID, answer a few questions, and then really sit back, relax, donate, and head off for your Lorna Dunes, and you're on your way to the rest of your day.
And so how often can somebody donate blood?
Someone can donate every 56 days, so every 2 months. And that's actually the amount of time we'll be here at the hospital. We will be here every 2 months, as well as hopefully working with some other organizations in the area to host blood drives.
Yes, and I know Unyts is being relatively new to this region. You're going to be wanting to talk to people in the region about helping out, maybe sponsoring blood drives at their locations here in Olean and in Bradford.
Definitely. It's a great opportunity for companies to give back to the community, for folks who may not have a lot of time to maybe volunteer, but to be able to save lives in less than an hour, it's a huge opportunity. And again, it's a way that local community groups, businesses can support Olean General as well. That's
great. And believe me, we know this here at Olean, that how important blood supply is to us. It's one of our major items in purchase. We can't, as I said before, we cannot operate without it, literally operate, have surgery with patients and everything. So I guess the message is we need you. We need the public, right, to help us out. And again, to make sure that we're taking care of each other. Now, Unyts also has, and you'll see it around town, I'm sure, the mobile unit.
We do. It's a huge bus, a 40-foot long coach that has our logo and our faces on it. So that's a great point. We try to make hosting a blood drive and donating blood as easy and the best experience as possible. So if you don't have space, we are able to pull up our bus, and the donation process occurs right on our donor coach. So again, it's relatively easy to host a blood drive. And what better thing to do than to save a life?
That's right. That's right. And as you said, it's easy. Mm-hmm. Right? Anything else we missed?
We are always looking for donors. We are always looking for groups to host blood drives. You can go to our website, which is www.unyts.org, and click through to find out how you can host a drive, how you can donate, and someone from our office will be in touch with you.
Well, we look forward to seeing the bus, the signs, and all over town, and as the community gets to know Unyts better and really supports this effort. Well, thank you, Amanda, and we'll be back in just a minute to talk with another guest about organ donation with Unyts. Well, welcome back, everyone. I'm Dennis McCarthy with Olean General Hospital, and this is Inside Olean General Hospital. In the first part of our program, we spoke with Amanda Farrell about blood donations and Unyts, which is our new blood provider. But with us now is Sarah Dina, who is the Director of Marketing and Development for Unyts, and we're going to talk about a little bit different subject now, and that's organ donation and tissue donation, and the very, very important role that Unyts has in helping people get on with their lives and save lives.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So talk to us a little bit about Unyts and organ donation and
Sure.
tissue donation and the need.
Sure. So since 1981, Unyts has been the organ, and tissue procurement agency for all of Western New York. So we are the federally designated organ procurement organization, or OPO, for the 26 hospitals in the 8 counties of Western New York. And what that means essentially is that we coordinate the donation, the recovery, and then we coordinate the tissues and organs for transplant for all of our local hospitals.
It's so important, and the research that I read says we need people to help with this.
Absolutely.
We're not getting enough organ donation or tissue donation. But
Yes.
A little bit of a difference, right? Organ donation, tissue donation?
Yes, yes. So the two really big differing factors is to be an organ donor, you have to be brain deaf, which means you have to be on an intubator, intubated in a hospital setting. About less than 1% of all deaths result in brain deaths, which is why there's such a need. In order to donate your organs, you need to be brain dead. On the other side of things, to be an eye and tissue donor, you can die from cardiac death, which is most of the deaths. So if you die of natural causes, if you have a heart attack, those kinds of things, those are cardiac death. You could die at home. You could die in a nursing home, in a car accident. But again, to be an organ donor, you have to be brain dead in a hospital and you have to be intubated.
So organ and tissue needs to be collected within a certain time period of expiration?
It's not so much about being collected in a certain time frame. Once organs are recovered, they need to be transplanted in a certain time frame, and that really varies from organ to organ. There are some that can be out of the body longer. Kidneys, for example, technology is just amazing, and we actually have kidney pumps now that when we recover a kidney from a donor, we can actually put it into a kidney pump, and it continues to perfuse the kidney out of the body until it can be transplanted. And there are times when we can actually have it outside of the body for about 48 hours until it gets to the recipient. There are other organs, hearts, lungs, that need to be transplanted in a much quicker time frame, usually about 4 hours from the time of recovery. So that, plays a lot into where the organs are going for transplant, right. Whether they can stay local. We transplant pancreas and kidney locally at ECMC. They're our regional transplant center. Everything else would go to a different transplant center, either regionally, statewide, and then, again, depending on the organ, we'll go from there.
So what kind of tissue are we talking about when we say tissue donation?
Yeah, it's really interesting, and a lot of people don't understand. So obviously on the organ side, those are your major organs, your heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, intestines, pancreas. On the tissue side, it's your bones, your tendons, your skin, your corneas, your sclera.
What's the sclera?
Sclera is the white part of your eye.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So you can actually save and enhance up to 75 lives through tissue donation. You can save 8 lives through organ donation. So it really is an incredible thing that one donor can have an impact sometimes on over 75 people. It's incredible.
Now, we saw something come from the governor, Governor Cuomo, a few months ago that talked about the urgency and the lack of organ and tissue donation. So part of our message here is to help with that effort, because if you didn't know, you wouldn't think it's a problem, but people are waiting.
Oh yeah, there are currently over 115,000 people across the country waiting for a transplant. About 10% of that list is from New York State. So that is huge, huge, huge. And it really is a public health crisis. This is a big deal. People are dying every day. About 20 people die every day because they don't get the organ they need in time. And there's something we can all be doing about it. We can talk to our families about our wishes to donate. We can sign up on the New York State Donor Registry and enroll as a donor. And those are all really important steps towards making this list shorter.
And you can also sign up through Unyts.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can visit our website, unyts.org/checkyes. We have a link right there for the enrollment form. It takes just a few minutes. It's super easy. But again, we want you to enroll. But we also want you to talk to your families, because it's so important that they know you want to be a donor at the time of your death.
This is not something to be dealt with at the end of life, right? It's not when you're sadly laying in a hospital bed, maybe passing away shortly. Yes. That's not a decision you make at that point.
No. And a lot of times, especially with our potential organ donors, there's been something traumatic that's happened. They've been in a bad car accident. They've maybe had a stroke, an aneurysm. So the family's dealing with a very traumatic, upsetting time. The last thing they have to think about is whether their loved one would have wanted to donate. That's why it's so important to figure these things out in advance, so that your families don't have to struggle with that difficult decision. It's important to let them know that those are your wishes. It's important to enroll on the registry so that we can tell them you were a registered donor. It's a very important step.
It's easy, isn't it?
It's very easy. It's very easy. It takes just a few minutes to fill out the form. It's very simple information: your name, your address, your birth date. You can actually identify what you would like to donate, if there's anything you would prefer not to donate, which a lot of people appreciate. I think it's important to note that all religions, active religions in the United States, support donation. They look at it as the last gift that someone is given. That's a question we get a lot from people. So there's really no negative to this. You have the potential to save and enhance so many lives. Again, there's over 115,000 people waiting, and the list continues to grow every single day.
That's a strong message. It really is, and it's a little sad when you think about doesn't have to be that way.
No, it doesn't have to be that way. And we talk to families every day who have donated their loved ones' organs, eyes, tissues, and they feel so wonderful about it. And their loved one has left such a legacy. And to say that your loved one has been able to help impact someone's life in such a positive way, that this person may not have, you know, been able to continue living if it weren't for your loved one's gift, is incredible. And we see children who have gotten transplants, you know, at the age of, you know, a few months old, 2 years old. We see adults that have received transplants and get to see their grandchildren grow up. I mean, there are just so many amazing, beautiful stories that are a result of people saying yes, having that conversation, giving the gift of life. It's really incredible.
It truly is a gift of life. And I know that's part of the Unyts brand, is this is a gift of life. And what we're going to see here, we know about the governor's call, Governor Cuomo's call for help, for hospitals to become more active. What we'll be seeing here in Olean and throughout the Western New York area, all the Kaleida hospitals, will be an upgraded effort to bring this issue to the forefront and really get people more actively involved.
Yes, and it is really all about awareness and education and making sure people understand what it means to be a donor. They understand the registry, they understand the need and the impact that they can have. So I think working together, Unyts and the hospitals, we can really have that impact.
That's great. Did we miss anything? Anything else we should talk about? Because this is such an important issue. And again, Unyts has been, with Olean General Hospital, has been involved with organ donation here for a while.
For years, yes. And they've been a wonderful partner on the organ, eye, tissue donation side of things. And we're so excited to expand that into the blood donation side of things because, again, it's another life-saving mission.
Right. It's all parts put together. And we'll be looking forward to working with Unyts on both the blood and increasing participation in the organ donation.
Absolutely.
Sarah, thank you for being with us.
Of course.
I really
Thank you
enjoyed
so
the
much.
conversation.
Thank you.
Well, that'll be all for today. This is Dennis McCarthy with Olean General Hospital. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you next time.